What's up, everybody? Here to talk about today's General Hospital episode. I'm finally back with another GH review. I finally found some time to myself. Well, find some time where I don't have to do anything, like just sit down and watch GH and blog about it. Um, I know some of you guys have been messaging me on Twitter and um, like tweeting me on Twitter asking me when was I gonna do another review. And now you got one. Yeah, I'm giving you guys one today. I'm gonna really necessarily I'm gonna cover most of this week's episodes. I won't talk about mainly today's episode, but talk about my thoughts on the last 2 days, if if time permits. At the end of this video, I'm talking about the last 2 days, but today's episode, because I really want to talk about this whole Julian Jerome. Tell you guys my thoughts about the whole Julian Jerome reveal. Um, I liked the reveal, but I also didn't like the reveal. I'll just say that. But I'm gonna give you like my in touch thoughts about what I think about the last 2 days at the end of today's video. At the end of this video. Um. Anyway, let's talk about today's episode. The morning after, everybody slept together. Carly and Franco slept together. Well, really, it was just more so Carly and Franco sleeping together, and Sonny and Olivia sleeping together. And I was just ready for them to get that shit over with. I mean, I'm okay with Sonny and Olivia. I mean, and it's something that I actually remember watching a blog, well, a fellow GH reviewer saying something like this, so that kind of had me thinking too. Sonny has all these damn kids with all these women, but he got kids with Olivia and he has kids with Carly, and he also has a dead child, deceased child with Sam. But he has all these kids by all these women, but he doesn't have a child with Brenda, who we all know is the love of his life. He doesn't have a child with Brenda, so that just had me thinking. I mean, he has all these kids with all these women, but he don't have a child with Brenda. But anyway, suddenly Olivia, they woke up, and Olivia's having second thoughts about basically saying how I think she's having second thoughts about her Sonny screwing and whatnot, and I guess this in a way of kind of officially makes Sonny and Olivia a couple, and because you know on this show all you gotta do is sleep with somebody and bam, you're a couple. So I guess this officially makes them a couple. Olivia's basically having like I seem like she's having second thoughts about sleeping with Sonny and whatnot, and Sonny basically tells her how he wanted it. And you can tell, you can just tell throughout the whole damn episode he wanted it. But anyway, what else was I gonna talk about? Still not here for that whole what they call them Cranko. I'm not here for them, Carly Franco. Fuck that. I mean, I'm not here for them. Excuse my language, but I'm not. I just can't can't really wrap it around my head that Carly would basically fuck Franco. I mean, seriously, I mean, Carly has been with some pretty out there guys in her past. I mean, hell, she was married to Sonny 3 times. From what I understand, I think 3 times she was married to Sonny. But anyway, but all the shit that Franco put her through, even though they're blaming it on the brain tumor, and they are really whitewashing the character by making him. And I did record a video that day that was found out like last week when we found out that Scott Baldwin was his father and Heather Weber was his mother. I recorded the video, but it wouldn't upload. YouTube wouldn't let me upload it. So said something about the file was corrupt or something like that. So I just decided not to re-record it and post anything that day because I was tired that day. But I really wanted to really did want to just tell you guys my thoughts about that. But anyway, but yeah, I'm not really feeling Franco and Carly. So apparently Franco gets Carly gets a gift sent I think via Franco's room. Because I think that was Franco's room, if I'm not mistaken. That was Franco's room at the Metro Court, and apparently the guy just, I guess the guy that was delivered it must have found out that Carly was in Franco's room, and so somebody delivers some dead flowers to Carly. We actually find out if there's a note left. The flowers come from Heather. Heather basically, in a way, Carly basically has a target on her back. Heather basically wants Carly to stay away from basically to stay away from Franco or else. So we all know Heather, how many times she done broke out of these mental these prisons, maximum facility prisons. She's crazy. I mean, and she will basically. I mean, Carly could be the next victim of an LSD. We see what she did to Olivia when Olivia was with Steve. So Carly may want to watch it back. But anyway, but I'm still not feeling this whole Carly and Franco thing. I just can't wrap it around my mind that Carly, after so much shit that Franco put her through, I really can't just really wrap my mind around the fact that she's with Franco. I can't. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. But anyway, Let me talk about this custody battle. Something told me that Lulu was gonna have Alexis call Liz to the stand and bring up the fact that Maxie basically broke up her and Lucky's marriage and whatnot, and basically was giving Lucky drugs. I mean, back in the day when Lucky had that, when Greg Vaughn was playing Lucky. Speaking of Greg Vaughn, he's doing a fantastic job on Days of Our Lives as Eric. I'm not a big watcher of Days of Our Lives, but I watch it back here or there, but I don't really watch it every day. But I actually been catching some of his performances over the last couple of weeks. And he's been doing a fantastic job with this storyline they've been giving him. But anyway, I just thought I may throw that out there. But anyway, but yeah, but back when Greg Vaughn was playing Lucky on General Hospital, when he played Lucky, he there was a storyline about where he was on drugs. I think he had gotten shot or something like that, and he got addicted to pain medication and got addicted to basically pop. He was a pill popper. He basically was a pill head. But anyway, and he was basically trying to get clean and sober, but Maxie was basically the one that was giving him all the giving him drugs and whatnot, um, and so they brought up all that, and I also brought up that Maxie faked fake. We all know Lucky and Maxie used to mess around, and they brought up the fact that she got pregnant. Well, she claimed that she was pregnant with Lucky's baby, and she was going all around town trying to get pregnant. Cause back, I don't know, back in the day, Maxie was a mess, and I missed that those times too. Maxie was a mess back in the day. But anyway, but basically, she basically brought up all that, and Maxie basically looked crushed, and then you could just, I mean, I would know if you guys noticed during today's episode, it seems like Dante really doesn't want to go through with this whole thing. It just, to me, it just seems like he doesn't want to go through with it. I mean, how you tell like the look of he's looking in his eye, and you tell that Lulu is really pushing it. Lulu's pushing this more than anything, and that Dante really does. You can just tell, looking at his facial expressions, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to go through with any of this. But anyway, at the end of today's episode, they wind up Alexis calls Maxie to the stand, um, and I can just only guess what they're gonna wind up asking Maxie. But anyway, this whole custody battle, I've heard rumors of how it's gonna end. I'm not sure. I've gotten to the point where I don't believe rumors nowadays, because every time I hear a rumor about something, it never half of it comes true, but the full outcome of some certain rumors don't come true. But some stuff that people claim to be rumors, some of it does come true to an extent. But I'm not believing any of the rumors that I've heard anymore. But anyway, but I've heard rumors of how this custody battle is gonna end. I actually heard that Dante and Lulu are they're gonna keep custody of the baby and whatnot. But anyway, I'm over that. Moving on from that storyline. Luke's polonium poison storyline. I mean, he's cured and whatnot, and apparently he and Tracy were babysitting the baby while the court case was going on, and they brought the baby to the hospital and got some tests run. They got tests run. We're basically trying to get tests run, and Ellie was basically trying to figure out. It was good to see Ellie again. I actually tend to forget Ellie. Now characters they don't show in the they don't show that much every day. They don't show every day. I tend to forget that they're even on a damn show. Kind of like they did TJ and Molly yesterday, which I'll talk about. Like I said, I'll talk about what happens for the past two days in the past. What's happened in the past 2 days on GH later on in this video. This is gonna be a very lengthy video. But anyway, well, characters we don't see much of on a daily basis. I kind of forget they're even on the damn show. So but yeah, so Ellie was basically trying to figure out how Luke's even still alive, because she basically looked at his vitals, and they basically tested him, and Luke was basically a dead man walking, and they're trying to figure out how is he even still alive. But anyway, it was good to see Luke and Tracy. I mean, it was good to see them. I'm a fan of theirs. I mean, I like them. I actually do like Luke and Tracy as a couple, and I can give you guys some news. Jeannie Francis is gone. I mean, she's not on GH anymore. If you guys haven't heard already, Ron Carlivati did like a big interview with TV Guide magazine's Michael Logan. He did a big interview recently, and he basically and Frank Valentini also said it, that he I don't go out and get any of those magazines like the whole soaps in depths or soap opera digest. I don't go out and buy any of those magazines. I don't. But I actually like via Twitter, and I got people on Twitter that send me links and stuff, and also also have somebody on Twitter that sends me the taping information, so I basically know who tapes every day. But anyway, but they told me the news that Frank Valentini did an interview, and Ron Carlivati did an interview that said that Jeannie Francis is gone. They would love to have her back, but she's for the time being she's gone. But anyway, so looks like that rumor's true, which also makes me wonder: is that rumor about AJ true? Yeah, I know it's been out for a long time that AJ that they fired Sean Kanan as AJ. That's been out for a while. And we have yet to see AJ on the screen. So, and when you disappear from the screen for a very long time on this show, and on any show really, if you disappear from the screen, that normally means they're getting rid of you. So, but think about it, there's a lot of characters we haven't really seen much of in a long time. So, but anyway, what has happened on today's episode? The whole Julian basically threatened Scotty and whatnot. He basically, in a way, brought up the fact that Lucy Cole basically is kind of one of the reasons his dad is dead. Cause we all know Victor. None of this was haven't seen any of this stuff. Only thing I really know was like from like people have told me. Like I said, I wasn't even thought of back then when all that shit, all that Lucy Cole and Victor Jerome stuff went down. Hell, I wasn't born. Hell, I'm just 21. I wasn't even thought of then. Hell, I wasn't even thought of when all that went down. But anyway, but yeah, Julian was basically saying how Lucy Cole, and how basically Scotty's going to he basically had Scotty in his back pocket. You know how Sonny had the DA on his payroll. Julian basically, he basically in a way was kind of threatening Scott, not to if he tries anything, not to take him down or whatnot. But anyway, and since Julian Jerome was alive, and I also think it's because like we all know like with the whole witness protection program, they basically say Julian Jerome can't step foot back in Port Charles again. And since Scott Baldwin is the DA, he basically is. I think Julian is basically threatening him and basically not to prosecute him and try to send him back to jail because. Anyway, we all know they're not gonna send Julian to jail. And from what I understand, the actor that plays him, William DeVry, is like on a 4-year contract. Even though that doesn't mean a damn thing, and on GH that doesn't mean a damn thing. Because hell, Sean Kanan was, Jeannie Francis was on a contract, and just because you're on a contract in this show, and people say they're on a 4-year contract, that doesn't mean a damn thing. For what I understand, the dude that they had, you remember that character Trey. He was on a 4-year contract. He was on contract. I think he was on a 4-year contract, and they killed him off within. He wasn't even on the show a full year. He wasn't even on the show a year really. And also, Kelly Sullivan signed a 4-year contract when she first came on the GH. And from what I understand, she was only been on the show for 2 years. She was on the show for 2 years. So just because you claim you signed a 4-year contract don't mean a damn thing on this show. But anyway, that's all that happened on today's episode. How I feel about about the past 2 days, the whole Julian Jerome reveal. I liked it, and like I said, I liked it and I didn't like it. The parts I liked was I liked the fact that even though Sam has found out that Derek Wells is Julian Jerome, that she basically isn't like I hate you and whatnot. Why didn't we? Even though her and Alexis both were kind of like. Basically, like, why you had all this opportunity to tell us, but they basically aren't just shaming him, but they kind of got a little pissed off at him yesterday because, he basically was saying, he's basically holding Danny hostage. He's basically using Danny, being as long as Danny stays alive, he's alive, and they're basically saying because if Danny like relapses, if he has to have like if the leukemia comes back, if his cancer comes back, he would need Julian. He would need Julian's bone marrow to save him. Basically, he would probably have to have another transplant. So they're basically saying Julian has to be alive. So, but they also say he also can donate his bone marrow in advance, and if he does that, Sonny can basically kill him. He can kill him, but Julian doesn't want to do that. So Sam basically says you're not willing to. Sam and Alexis, they all get like pissed off at him, and and whatnot. But and that's for all that Michael and Morgan stuff. Um, I was over the other day. I mean, it was good. It was pretty good. It was good drama, true enough. But I was really over it. I mean, is it? I know I probably wasn't the only one that really wanted Michael to basically join Jason under the sea at Pier 52, and they really should do something about Pier 52, because I mean that place is basically a dead zone. I mean, but anyway, that's how really how I feel about the last 2 days. Those are some like key things that happened in the last 2 days. And I've told you guys about today's episode. But anyway, let me know how you guys feel about today's episode. If there's anything else you guys want to hear me comment on, let me know. But anyway, I think that's all I got for today's episode. Anyway, this is Dominic checking out. Peace. God bless. And I'm out.